Welcome into Tennessee Titans Today. I am your host, RC Maxfield, as the Tennessee Titans win yet another game on the season and beat the Sparkling Kitties, a.k.a. the Jacksonville Jaguars, in dominating fashion down in Florida, 37-19. And stop me if you've heard this before, Derrick Henry dominates, and I mean dominates, the Jacksonville Jaguars. 29 carries for 130 yards and 3 TDs. He is indeed King Henry. He's not the only guy on the offense that looked good, though. Ryan Tannehill went 14 of 22 with 197 yards passing and a touchdown. Overall, though, the Titans defense comes up big and really limits a Jacksonville Jaguar offense that looked like they were trying to get some things going at times in this game, but to no avail, as Ryan Tannehill and the boys will head back to the Music City in Nashville with a dub. Speaking of Ryan Tannehill, let's look at his stats in this one. 14 of 22, 197 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. He's just starting to – this is what he is, right? And, I mean, he's not great at one particular thing, and he's not bad at one particular thing, but he is very, very consistent. And these numbers will be better moving forward once you get A.J. Brown back and fully healthy, which he was back this week. Not sure if he's completely healthy. Obviously, Julio Jones missed his second week with a hamstring injury. Once Ryan Tannehill has his full allotment of weapons back, mainly A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, and Derrick Henry, watch out, because I think this Titans offense with the offensive line play we saw today will be an offense that could creep up into that top 7, top 8 range in the NFL, and why not? I mean, we've seen Ryan Tannehill be a guy over the past 2 years since he's taken over for Marcus Mariota out in Denver a couple years ago as one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL. But you tell me, let's go back to school real quick on this one. Grade Ryan Tannehill's performance versus Jacksonville. Give him an A, B, C, D, or F. I better be seeing A's and B's in there again. The numbers are not going to, be eye-popping or anything. But when you have Derrick Henry running for $130 and 3 TDs, your numbers shouldn't be that great if you're a quarterback, but you helped your team and made some critical throws on third down as well. Let me know down in the comments, though, what you have for a grade for Tanner Mountain down in the comments for his performance against the Sparkling Kitties and the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that big red button and subscribe to Tennessee Titans Today. We are trying to give y'all daily videos over here, but the boss, man, they're just saying, hey, we need more subscribers. So if you want more daily videos here on Tennessee Titans Today, we need more subs. It's that simple. Tell your friends if they're Titans fans as well, but hit that big red button and stay in the know on your Tennessee Titans all season long. And hey, don't forget to hashtag Tighten Up either. Let's look at the stats for the receivers in this one, and the pass catchers did all right? A.J. Brown is the main name coming back in this one. 3 catches for 38 yards. Nothing that's going to stand out in this one. Marcus Johnson was activated for this one and actually led the Titans in receiving with 3 catches and 52 yards. And then Chester Rogers, who has really evolved into a very reliable wide receiver 3 outside of, or really right behind A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, had 1 catch for 26 yards. But as we know, as he usually does, the King stole the show. King Henry, 29 carries, 130 yards, and 3 TDs. I'm telling you right now, if King Henry could play Jacksonville every week, we might see a 3,500-yard rushing season. It's just absolutely ridiculous what he does. I don't know if he just loves playing down there because he's from the area, or he just has a vendetta against Urban Meyer's, just really the Jacksonville organization as a whole. I don't know, but he absolutely destroys them every time he sees the Jacksonville Jaguars on the opposing sideline, and he did that as well today where, King Henry's just going to continue to do King Henry things when he sees that gaudy just jersey. Producer Jeff is laughing at me right now for this, but it's just an ugly color formation, Jacksonville. Be better. Just be better when it comes to jerseys. But we talked about A.J. Brown a little bit. Let me know. He's back this week. Obviously, he missed the Jets game, and we don't really want to talk about that too much as Titans fans because, woof, that was disgusting in an overtime defeat up in the Meadowlands. But if you were happy to see A.J. Brown back, just type AJ down in the comments for me. Happy to have him back. Obviously, 3 for 38 isn't what you expect from a star wide receiver from him, but you really didn't need much else as the Titans really went down there and dominated with King Henry on the ground. Speaking of the Titans and dominating, the defense dominated for the most part. A lot of this was garbage time in terms of the yardage that the Jacksonville Jaguars got in this one. I thought the defense, obviously Kevin Byard, having that return in terms of the TD, really set them up in terms of the INT return that was on the first drive of the game for Jacksonville. Listen, you don't want to see all of these totals and everything in terms of giving up 500 yards, right? But they gave up 19 points, and Kevin Byard is the guy to look at right there in terms of what really happened on this defense. And he's the guy that Titans fans have just been frustrated with, right? You gave him a bag. He really wasn't that great last year in a lot of components. He really went down a little bit, but this is the kind of player you can get at the safety position with Kevin Byard. 10 tackles, 2 pass breakups, a fumble recovery, an interception, and a touchdown. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen every week, but it's good to see Kevin Byard finally making an impact, right? That's the biggest thing for me. There were times where you forgot Kevin Byard was back there on the back half of that secondary in terms of the safety position. Maybe he'd come up in the box and wreak havoc once or twice, but for the amount of money you're paying him, he's got to be better. He was today. And speaking of being better, Harold Landry, can we just play Jacksonville every week? He's turning into a Jaguar killer as well, just like King Henry is. 7 tackles, 2 for loss, 2 sacks, and 3 QB hits. I mean, Harold Landry, since he came out of Boston College and was a second-round pick by the Titans fans have wanted him to break out and be that premier pass rusher, right? They brought in Jadeveon Clowney last year to be opposite of him, and Clowney had 0 sacks. Landry struggled. They had the worst sack rate in the NFL. Well, it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year with Harold Landry, who was trying to break out, and he gave the Jaguars headaches all day long, specifically Trevor Lawrence. You love seeing him live up to some of that potential that he had coming out of Boston College, and maybe 4 or 5 years into this now, he's finally catching his stride because he is one of those talents that really could be an elite pass rusher, but right now, he just hasn't lived up to that potential. But before we get out of here, you tell me, who was the Titans' defensive MVP against Jacksonville? It's got to be Harold Landry, or it's got to be Kevin Byard. Just let me know down in the comments. I'm cool with either. I'd probably lean Harold Landry because you can't put a price on pressuring the quarterback, specifically a rookie quarterback, and that's exactly what he did. But let me know down in the comments who you've got. Better be seeing a lot of Byards and better be seeing a lot of Landrys. Once again, though, the Titans win 37-19 down in Jacksonville. And listen, King Henry, man. Just crown him, and I don't know if Jacksonville just really just doesn't want to play the Titans anymore. If King Henry's there, might as well just take the L anyway. That's what's going to happen. 5 in a row for the Titans against the Sparkling Kitties. They'll move on to their Week 6 matchup, 3-2 on the year, and King Henry will look to keep doing King Henry things. Appreciate y'all watching Tennessee Titans Today.